Hello. Welcome back to my channel here. My name is Josh. This is Tarot with Josh. And it's going to be another pick a card reading. So if you would like to, should just be whatever message you're meant to hear right now. Um, and yeah, let's just dive right in and show you what piles we got here. So for pile one, we got using this, Imperial Dragon Oracle to pick our piles, and especially if this is your first time here. So we got Adversity, the Adversity card here for pile one. Try and give you a bit better view of that. Apologies, it's not the best. I'm working with what I got, you know. Anyway, pile two, we have this Solitaire card. I mean, pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay, and then for pile three, we have the Imperial Dragon. Okay. Now each of these corresponds with a major arcana in normal tarot, and we'll dive into that once we get into the actual piles themselves. So you can go ahead, feel out the energy here if you want to. If you want to take a look at all three cards here for a moment. Try and just feel out which one you're drawn to the most here. And then we can go ahead and dive right into our piles. Quick disclaimer that I want to say before we do dive in is just take what resonates, leave the rest. Again, if you pick a pile and doesn't really sound like it makes sense for your situation or whatever, it doesn't really feel like it resonates, then go ahead. You can pick another pile, or you can go to another video or whatever. That's okay. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alrighty, hello pile one. We are getting ourselves set up here for you guys. If you chose the adversity card here, this is going to be your pile. It's pretty cool. Got like a multi-headed dragon there. Very fun. Very cool. On what looks to be a chariot. This might be the chariot card. I'm not really sure which major arcana card that one's supposed to be, but we'll take a look at that here in a moment. Just wanted to give our tarot deck a quick shuffle here. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing great, and day's treating you well, your week's treating you well here. Once again, I would like to say that these are timeless messages, so whenever this found you, this is hopefully this should apply to you in the moment that it found you in, okay? We're not working on a specific timeline here, all right? All right. So again, don't let those readings take from you. So let's take a look at what this adversity card means here, which one it is, because I'm still learning all this stuff. So let's see. Adversity is number 7 here. So it is the chariot. Hey, look at that. I got it right. Awesome. So yeah, here. Take a look at that while I read this out here, because this commentary is just so good for these cards. Okay. So we got there is only one constant in the universe, and that is change. In order to know things at a deeper level, we must first forget that what we already think we know. Change is the energy that makes this possible. Adversity always brings with it the power of self-development, for the challenging situations in life teach us the most. That's very true. Very cool. Very cool energy here. Yeah, just really maybe you're going through a lot of change right now in your life, or maybe there's a big change going on right now, but hey, we'll take a look and see what we actually got here. Okay, so real quick, we did this in the last video here, but I want to do it again because it was a lot of fun. Makes it a little bit longer, but who cares, right? So this kind of spread we're going to do here comes from this booklet as well. It's the cardinal spread here, and basically, what we're going to do is kind of like take a deeper look at an issue going on in your life. So you can kind of think of whatever issue you would like to get a little bit more clarity on, and we'll go through it. And of course, if it resonates, then great. If not, then awesome. Go and find another video or another maybe go and pick another pile or whatever. So cool. So we're gonna maybe give it a couple more shuffles here, and then we'll set up our spread. And just a little bit more information about the way that this spread works is we're going to look at like where the root of the issue lies. So whatever issue it is that comes to mind, we'll look at like where the actual root of it lies, and then we'll take a look at some guidance on the issue. Um, and then we're going to look at what you need to learn from the issue, and then we'll look at some obstacles and some challenges that you need to be aware of as you work through this issue. And then, of course, for the last little bit, we'll see the potential future um, if lessons are learned and obstacles are overcome here. So yeah, it should be pretty cool. So let's get our cards out here. 4 and 5. Okay, very interesting. Now, the way that I've been doing this is, I'm taking the cards as they come out, so I am taking reversals or whatever. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it actually applies, so I may just take the upright version of that or whatever, see how we go. And, all right, cool. So, starting off here, we got the Eight of Swords in reverse for the root of this issue. So we'll take a look, see here, and see what it says for the Eight of Swords real quick for you. Excuse me. I've been drinking coffee and I just had breakfast, so probably a lot of burps and stuff going on here, so bear with me. All right. So in the reverse for the that was Eight of Pentacles. Hold on. For the Eight of Swords, went straight to it. Great. Um, we have release, acceptance, accountability, and discovery. So interesting that the root of the issue would be release, acceptance, accountability, discovery. Maybe you're having trouble with releasing something or accepting something, maybe taking accountability with something as well. Um, like usually if you're having trouble surrendering to the thing, and that's going to create a lot of resistance in your life, right? And that can create all sorts of issues for yourself. So um, definitely an important thing to look at in general here. um, let's see, anything else coming through here as I look at this card. I mean, maybe this is like, maybe you're kind of having trouble slowing down. Maybe things feel like they're kind of picking up for you or something, and you're having like trouble just taking a moment and slowing down and relaxing, taking a step back, maybe looking at things a little bit more, or even just releasing control over something going on in your life. Yeah, we'll see. Let's see what we got for guidance on this issue here. We got Temperance in reverse, which is an interesting card to come in reverse, especially after that. But let's see, because Temperance usually talks about like, being patient, slowing down. So it's interesting that it would come out in the reverse here. Let's see, what does this say for the reverse of that? Completion, frustration, excess, imbalance. So, I mean, especially like since we have the Chariot card kind of for the pick a card here, feels like there's maybe a big change going on in your life, and maybe you're having trouble accepting that and surrendering to that change here. Some hairs, whatever. Um, and that can be really difficult. Maybe oh, competition, not completion. I definitely think I read that as completion earlier, but no, it's competition, frustration, excess, and imbalance. So, I mean, yeah, if you're coming through this time of change, maybe you're going through like this time of maybe you need to look at for your guidance here to try and work through this energy. Maybe you need to look at where you feel like you're competing. Um, and like look at what's frustrating you in this change, and maybe being a try and take a moment, release the attachment to whatever issue's going on here, or the attachment to whatever's going on, especially if you're attached to a specific outcome. That alone can cause a lot of issues when you're trying to manifest something, or especially if you're going through big change here. I mean, this might be literally all your manifestations trying to come in, and if you're um, getting frustrated over certain things or whatever, then that's going to slow down these manifestations or whatever coming in for you. So, yeah, so maybe the temperance in reverse is kind of telling us to take a look at where we feel like we're competing or where we're feeling frustrated or like there's excess or wherever there's an imbalance. And I think trying to look at that honestly, slow down, and surrender to what's going on and surrender to the energy going on here, I think will be a really big help for us here. And I'm saying us because I feel like I'm kind of going through this sort of energy too here. So you're not alone. You're not alone. All right. So for our card 3, which is what you need to learn from this issue, we got the 4 of Cups here. See that there. And immediately I kind of get like this looks like, what you need to learn from it is kind of like, I mean, this guy is literally just like meditating underneath this tree while these cups are just kind of floating towards him. So, sounds like what you need to learn from this issue is how to actually slow down and just relax and realize that you can't mess up your manifestations. What's meant for you is going to find you, and so why stress out about it? Why work yourself up over it? Why do anything like that when you can just relax, meditate, and let the things kind of flow into your life naturally? Try and let things flow in and out naturally here. Yeah, I want to look at the actual what it says, see if we get anything more from that. This is like a big thing for me because I feel like I'm just kind of go 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 go, and I'm really feeling that energy right now, and I've kind of been feeling that today. I mean, I just had some coffee, so that might be kind of part of it here, but I think there's a little bit deeper, a little bit more going on there than just the coffee. So yeah, we got meditation, resentment, apathy, discontentment. Um, so yeah, maybe like what we can learn from this issue is how to manage these emotions and how to feel like how to sit with these feelings of like, I mean, especially if like this is a big change that you're not so much expecting, like maybe you thought that like you wanted certain things in your life, but you're at a point now where you're like, I don't know that I really do want those things. I think that there's other things that I want in my life, and um if there's you know maybe there's a little bit of resentment and apathy towards not getting those things from like the old version of us that did want those things, and that old version of us is kind of dying right now, and it is kind of a bit of an ego death here, and that's a pretty difficult time. Ego deaths are never fun. um, but hey, I mean, ultimately you're going to be getting what you truly want, and that's a pretty cool thing. So I think sitting with these feelings and actually like sitting with it, feeling these feelings, and then letting them naturally release is going to be kind of the best possible course of action for us at this moment, or the going to teach us a lot of things from this issue, because this is the lesson that we're meant to learn here, right? So let's move on to card 4 here, which is obstacles and challenges that you need to be aware of, and this is the 2 of Cups in reverse, which is very interesting. Usually 2 of Cups is all about partnership, um, like another person coming in here. That's often used for love, whatever. But I'm not sure that that's exactly where this applies. Maybe it is exactly where this applies. Actually, maybe that's something that you've been manifesting is love, and maybe an obstacle here is like realizing that maybe some specific scenarios or people that you've been very attached to, maybe, or trying to manifest in specific ways, maybe that's going to be an obstacle here. You don't want to attach yourself to a specific outcome because that really just sets yourself up for disappointment in the end. I mean, if you can release that attachment to that specific outcome with that specific person, then I mean, maybe that'll come in, but maybe something better will come in too. Maybe you're meant for something even better than what that is. And um, attaching yourself to that would just get in the way. Yeah, so let's see what it says in here. It says imbalance, disconnection, unworthiness, and struggle. So, yeah, it definitely seems like some obstacles here are going to be um, any feelings of imbalance that you might have or feel. Um, Especially if you're feeling disconnected and unworthy. You don't want to. You want to be. You literally be feeling the feelings that you would be feeling if you had that thing already in your life. That's how manifestation works. It's the law of attraction. If we're vibrating at the frequency that we would be vibrating at if we had that thing in our life, then that thing's just not going to naturally attract to us. So, um, if we're feeling unworthy of that thing, then that's an energy that we're not going to be in if we had that in our life because we have it in our life. Why would we be unworthy if it was already in our life? Um, and I mean, if you're and feeling disconnected too, like especially feeling disconnected from the universe and the divine and spirit and all that, which, realizing that we're all one, we're all connected. You literally are connected to your manifestations right now. And if you're feeling disconnected, then that's ultimately an illusion and something that really you should let go of. And that's probably an obstacle that's going to be in the way of you actually attracting in all these things, these wonderful things and wonderful changes that are coming in for you. All right. Trying to take a moment here to slow down, trying to learn my own lesson with this. All right, cool, cool, cool. Because we're all healing together. We're all working through this sort of stuff together. None of us are alone. All right, let's look at our last card here. So, card 5, it says the potential future if lessons are learned and obstacles are overcome. And what we have is the Knight of Wands here, which is a beautiful card to have, I believe. I mean, um, wands are all about emotions. Let's see what it says here for the Knight of Wands, because I don't want to give an inaccurate thing. Anyway, Knight of Wands here. For the upright, we have determination, energetic, impulsiveness, and passionate. So yeah, it sounds like if lessons are learned and um, obstacles are overcome, then you're gonna find a lot of maybe a sudden burst of energy here to really go after something you're passionate for. And maybe that sense of maybe you kind of in the past year you've lost that sense of impulsiveness or spontaneity, that spark, that spark of life, to go out and get the things that you want and enjoy life in the ways that you want. So it sounds like that's going to be coming back for you. um, which I mean, it sounds like these obstacles can be something that's definitely overcomable. So sounds like that's a pretty cool thing and to have come in. That's really awesome. And I mean, yeah, it sounds like a lot of passions coming into your life, especially some determination to go after something that you really want. I mean, this is what you really want, right? So, I mean, no reason to let the past bog us down and hold us back and make us feel all sorts of ways. There's no reason for that when you got everything you've ever wanted coming in for you. So, yeah. Um, awesome. That's, I think, everything that I got for you. So, thank you so much for watching. And, yeah, I'm kind of getting that whole slowing down thing because now it's like, oh, I'm at the end here, but I want to keep going. I want to keep living in this energy, and kind of realizing I just kind of rushed through that pretty quickly. least I feel like I have. I don't everything's working out in divine timing, of course, but kinda just yeah, I'm just having this real visceral moment with this, so I don't know, I hope that this is helping you out here. And I hope that this is giving you exactly what you needed to hear. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed and if you got something out of this, then I would love to hear from you. You can leave a like down below. That's the simplest and easiest way for you to show your appreciation. And if you want to stick around and um, come with me on this journey through tarot that I'm going on here, then you can go ahead and leave a subscribe. And yeah, thank you so much again. Love you. Bye. Hello, welcome, pile two. If you chose the solitaire card here, then this is your pile. And it has a pretty cool looking card here, solitaire. I mean, that's got to be the hermit, right? That's what I'm thinking. Let's see if I'm correct here. Check it out. I am. It's the Hermit. Perfect. I love to start these readings out just by reading the commentary for the card that you chose, because the commentary in these booklets are really beautiful, really fun. So let's just dive right in here. So yeah, commentary: The solitaire dragon walks the path of an outsider, seeking his own way to inner knowledge. Oh goodness, stumbling over my words. Thank you, Mercury. Being in the microwave. If you're watching this during any sort of Mercury retrograde, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's cool. So, anyways, Solitaire Dragons walks the path of an outsider seeking his own way to inner knowledge. His lantern of illumination guides him, making him both gentle and wise. His twisted staff symbolizes his understanding of the spiral of creation that helps him on his quest. He understands that the answer to all questions and the solution to all problems can be found within. Very cool. Very awesome card to start off here. Very, very beautiful energy to sit in here. Love that. So, just so you know, the kind of spread that we're going to be doing today here is going to be, it's in this booklet as well. It's the cardinal spread here. That's what it's called. It's this cross pattern here. And how it works is we get these 5 cards, and each of them correspond to a different thing. We're going to kind of be diving into to an issue going on in your life. So if something specifically comes up, then of course, especially if it applies here, then we're going to be diving in that energy, trying to give you some guidance, to work through that, kind of here. So the first card at the top here is going to be where the root of the issue lies. Second card here on the side is going to be your guide on the issue, how you can some guidance for you to work through this issue. And then the third card here is what you need to learn from this issue. And then the fourth card here is some obstacles or challenges that you need to be aware of as you work through this issue. And then the fifth card is going to be the potential future outcome if lessons are learned and obstacles are overcome. So pretty cool stuff. I really like this spread. I did this for my last video here. I have a lot more fun. It's a little bit more in depth than just a past, present, future. So here, let's pull out your cards here. I'm going to give this one more shuffle just because I'm feeling called to do so. And then we will pull out your cards and get your spread set up. If you're having a great day, or if you're enjoying so far, enjoying my energy, you can go ahead and leave a like. I would love to see it. And if you want to just share whatever's going on with you in your life, then go ahead and do so. So let's see what we got. Man, this is crazy. The Eight of Swords keeps coming up for these guys, for us here. So came up in the last reading in the exact same position that we have it in today. But of course, there's a whole bunch of other cards here that changes the energy a whole bunch. But it's just fascinating to see. We all seem to be going through a lot of the same stuff, or at least pile 1 and 2. So yeah, if you feel this is the same stuff that came up for pile 1 here. So if you felt drawn to that card at all, you might want to go and check out that reading. There might be something in there for you. But yeah, let's just dive right in here. So for card 1, we have the Eight of Swords in reverse. And again, sometimes the reverses don't quite fit for these, so I'm taking them as they come for the most part. But if it feels like it just doesn't quite fit, then I'm just going to flip it over, and we're going to take the other meaning here. Okay. All right. So Eight of Swords in reverse, and for the amount that this card has come up in exactly that way, I really should remember what this means, but I keep forgetting it every single time, and so that's what the booklet's for, right? Cool. So Eight of Swords in reverse here, it says release, acceptance, accountability, and discovery. So again, it sounds like I don't know, with the solitaire. I mean, the hermit energy here feels like, I mean, it sounds like there's a lot of releasing and surrendering that needs to go on here in the collective. Um, Especially and like taking accountability for ourselves and for our own actions and how that affects the different ways and stuff that we interact in the world. I mean, if we got to take responsibility for ourselves. So I don't know. That seems like that's where the root of this issue lies. Is within maybe there's a bit of a lack of acceptance within oneself going on here, and yeah. So let's see what we got for the next card here, which is your guide on this issue, which is the Eight of Pentacles, which you can take a look here. We got this guy working on that pentacle, working real hard. Sounds like there is a lot of hard work going on here, or at least guide is going to be some hard work. Well, let's see what we see. So for the Eight of Pentacles here, it says creativity, concentration, craftsmanship, and focus. So, oh, excuse me. Wow. Maybe confirmation burp here. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of maybe release of anything that's gonna. I mean, it seems like the guidance for you is gonna be concentrating on your craft, right? I mean, it's really hard because I want to keep jumping into the energy of the other pile here because it feels like this just applies. So really, truly, if you're feeling called to pile one, I really think you should go and check that out because I'm just feeling a lot of the same energy here. Now, I think that there's a call to really focus on what it is that you're building, and and be creative with it too. Like maybe fall into the flow state a little bit with it here. I mean, if you're feeling called to do something maybe just a little bit different of a way and feels like it's a little bit more aligned with you, then go for it. I don't know. So it sounds like for guidance for you is really just about concentrating on what it is that brings you that joy or that you're building here, whatever that is. And maybe try and bring in a little bit of creativity with it too. Like have fun with it. Like you don't have to be so I mean the reverse for the Eight of Pentacles is perfectionism, obsession, so you don't want to get all obsessed with it. You want to like let it go, release it, have fun with it, let it flow, do the things. Yeah, very cool. So let's look at our card 3 here, which is what you need to learn from this issue. So what we have here for that is the Ten of Swords in reverse, which is interesting. As you can see, Ten of Swords, a lot of swords in that back, but it's in reverse. So let's see what that says for the reverse meaning real quick here. So in the reverse, it says hope, recovery, acceptance, and renewal. And for what you need to learn is maybe you need to learn that there's a bit more hope in this situation than you're thinking there is. Especially like if this is something that you're really passionate about, that you're working on and focusing on and really hard. Like if this is something that you're crafting, like maybe there's a little bit more hope here than you're thinking. I mean, the universe is always conspiring to help us out and to push us in to what we truly want to do. And when we're in alignment with that, then the universe is celebrating with us. We're flowing with it and having fun with it. So Yeah, and maybe that process there, because this is like what you need to learn. Maybe you need to learn a little bit like that process of like letting go, but also, staying focused on what you're doing. But, being creative with it can bring you a bit of recovery, because maybe, I mean, maybe you're like me and you've had a pretty tough past and things have not always worked out for you. Um, but I'm thinking it really feels like whatever this is that you're working on currently is something that truly brings you some joy and is truly aligned with you, and the universe is right here with you, co-creating it with you, so you don't have to stress yourself out over it so much. You can let go and have fun with it a little bit. Yeah. Very cool, very cool. So yeah, and I think that through that process there, you get to feel renewed. Renewed is probably a pretty good way to put it. Wow, I'm tearing up because this is pretty prevalent to me right now. I can't get over how much it feels like a lot of this can be the same stuff. I mean, of course, like everyone's situation is different, so whatever you're going through yourself is going to be a little bit different than what I'm going through myself. But it feels like some of these energies can really apply to myself too. So it's just cool to see like we're not alone. Never are alone. There's always, especially in the world of 8 billion people, there's always going to be somebody else who's going through something at least pretty similar to you, if not exactly the same. But anyway, so yeah, I think that big thing to learn here is just acceptance. Just like I don't know. This is such a beautiful, beautiful reading here. I'm loving what we're getting. So let's see. So some obstacles and challenges that you need to be aware of as you work through this energy, or as you flow through this energy is probably a better way to put it. We get the magician in reverse here. Now, the magician, usually in the upright, I mean, it makes sense that this is in the reverse here, but in the upright, it's talking about how, like, you're the master creator, you're the one who, you're in alignment with all the things, you're the one bringing in normal. I mean, if you look here, got one hand pointing up, one hand pointing down, so it's like you're literally bringing stuff from the divine spirit, the heavens, whatever, bringing it down to earth and grounding it into reality here. And then if it's in the reverse, that's probably talking about how, like, the obstacles and challenges would be maybe not believing in yourself in that way. Maybe there's a part of you that doesn't believe that you can do that, and that's not meant for you. But I think I definitely through this reading, Spirit's telling you, hey, you are absolutely meant for this, and you are absolutely capable of doing this. There's nothing holding you back here except yourself. Um, Seems like that kind of trap of like not believing in yourself, or thinking that like that imposter syndrome that can seems like a big obstacle that might be in your way here. Let's see what it says here. It says, for the reverse, it says unease, lack of planning. Ooh, lack of planning. Interesting. Powerlessness, procrastination, or arrogance. So yeah, I mean, yeah, especially if you're like, oh, that's interesting because like if you're feeling maybe you start feeling super confident about this, and then you are, or maybe you're scared of being a little arrogant about this, but I don't know, it feels like through this you really are working hard and you really are doing the things that you need to do for this, and as long as like maybe you feel like you're not planning very well, but I feel like those feelings and those things, like it's just in your head. You're just second guessing yourself in all these ways, and it feels like that's a big challenge for you right now. And I get that. I always second guess myself. I mean, even doing this right now, like I'm second guessing everything that I'm saying here. Like I'm really trying to work through this too here. So once again, you are not alone. Um, so yeah, anything that brings up that like feeling of unease or makes you feel like you aren't anything that makes you feel like you aren't this magician here is going to be an obstacle in your way, right? because you have to just remember that you are this magician. This is you. And if you start to feel this way, feel like you're not this magician, then shut up. Tell yourself no. You are this magician. You really are. And it's a loving shut up there, you know? It's a stop overthinking it. Stop getting in your own way. Stop self-sabotaging this stuff. I mean, like the universe is literally like telling you, "Hey, this is it. This is everything that you want. Yes, yes, yes." And, the self-sabotaging or the imposter syndrome there, like it's a tough thing to deal with, but like ultimately at the end of the day, like that's not you. You're this magical, wonderful human being who's been on this planet for however long you've been on this planet, and you've made it through everything that you've made it through now, and all of those challenges have just made you a more and more incredible person because here you are still standing to this day. That's pretty incredible. So, yeah, that's awesome. And then let's take a look at the potential future if these lessons are learned and these obstacles are overcome. So this is interesting because the card that we have here is the world, and I mean, it feels like it should be up like this, but it's in reverse. So let's just take a look at what it says here. Maybe something here will click as I look at this, but I feel like this might be a scenario where we might need to take the upright here. Yeah, no, this feels like this is just an upright. This should have come out in the upright for sure. I mean, this is everything. Like the whole point of this whole reading feels like it's just, of course, if you once you work through all this stuff, or on the other side of these obstacles and issues is going to be the world. Literally everything that you could ever want is on the other side. I mean, here it says completion, satisfaction, travel, fulfillment. So like on the other side of this is literally fulfillment because this is literally what your soul wants, what you've wanted this whole time. Everything, that little inkling that's been in your inside of you, deep inside this whole time, of like that's been guiding you through everything. Like, no, I don't actually really want this. No, I don't actually really want this. No, I don't actually really want this. This is like, oh, this is it. This is everything that I wanted. This is the thing that's actually feeding my soul. Um, yeah, that's beautiful. That's so awesome. I am so happy for you, and for myself because I'm kind of feeling this for myself too. But I'm so happy to be able to share this energy with you. I think that's super awesome. Um, yeah, yeah, wow. Oh, maybe I might need to. I just realized that the world card kind of has a naked lady on there, and I probably need to censor that a little bit. Whatever, that'll be a challenge for editing, Josh, to work through. Um, cool, yeah. I don't got much else to say about this. I mean, this is just beautiful energy. It sounds like, I mean, you're really doing great. It just sounds like this is like a big pat on the back, like you're doing fantastic, and anything that's coming up that feels like a challenge or feels like something you can't work through, I think this reading is here to tell you like you can work through it and you have all the information within yourself. I mean, literally you have the hermit card to start, and this is literally talking about how everything you need to know is within yourself already, and it's about looking inward and seeing that you really are this powerful magician, and and you literally deserve the world, and it's right here for you. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful reading. Thank you so much for sitting with me today and taking this reading. I hope that I wish you all the best in all your future endeavors. Yeah, if you enjoyed, you can go ahead and leave a like down below. And if you want to stick with me on this journey, or want to be notified whenever I post another reading or whatever, you can go ahead and leave a subscribe. You can turn the notification bell on too, do all the things, all whatever. Um, yeah. I love you so much, and I hope you have a wonderful and beautiful day. Thanks. Hello, hello. Welcome to your reading pile 3. How are you doing? Hope you're doing great. We're going to give you one more shuffle here, and then we're going to dive right into what we got. First, I want to take a look at our card here. You chose the Imperial Dragon. If you chose this, this is your pile, of course. And this is the card that corresponds with the Emperor card. So that's pretty awesome. I mean, that's really cool energy right there, Emperor. Let's take a look at what the booklet has to say about this. Oh no, this isn't the Emperor card. Oh wow, I was so confident that it was the Emperor one. No, this is actually Strength. So yeah, yeah, fascinating. That's fun. Um, this is why these booklets exist, right? So we can check ourselves. And anyway, you got the Strength card here for the card that you picked, and let's just read what the commentary says in here because it's very beautiful stuff. So let's see what it says. True strength arises from the fusion of female intuition, spiritual energy, and masculine strength. When the masculine strength is exerted on its own, the underlying energy is one of dominance, which serves no higher purpose. However, feminine spiritual energy exerts a gentle but powerful restraining force on this male energy, allowing it to endure in spite of the most extreme challenges. The merging of your masculine and feminine sides is vital for overcoming obstacles on your spiritual path. And I think that ties in very well to the actual reading that we're diving into today because the spread that we're going to be using is this cardinal spread. It's this cross shape here, and what we're doing here is really diving into some sort of issue that's going on in your life. So we're going to be looking at the root of our cause of our issue. Then we're going to get your guide on this issue. We're going to get what you need to learn from this issue. And then we're going to get some obstacles or challenges that you need to be aware of as you work through this issue. And then finally, we're going to get to the potential future if lessons are learned and obstacles are overcome. So let's go ahead and get our cards out here for you. I already shuffled up your deck, so let's see what we got. Ooh, it's a card that does not come out too much for me. Same with that one. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. So, I will say, if you feel called to any of the other piles, go ahead and take a look. Um, we have the one of the cards in the final position here, which we'll get into later. But we got the Knight of Wands here in the end, and this was the same card that we had at the end of our pile 1 reading too. So if you felt called to that pile specifically, you might want to go and check out that reading. There's probably something there for you. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into this reading here. What we got. So let's take a look at what where the root of the issue lies, which starting off here is the Page of Wands in reverse. Now, I'm still learning what all these mean, so we're going to take a look into our little booklet here, get a accurate representation. I mean, immediately when I look at this, the Page of Wands, I mean, pages are, it's like young, brand new, and it's sort of energy, but it's in the reverse here. So let's see. So reverse for the Page of Wands, it says lazy, pessimism, unfocused, and arrogance. So seems like with whatever this issue is that's coming up, and you may not even be super clear on that until we get further into this, but there might be a bit of pessimism sitting here, or maybe feeling a bit lazy about something, or maybe feel like you're unfocused or arrogant about something. I mean, yeah, we'll see. I think like whatever issue it is that kind of came to mind, or something that whatever it is that's been coming up a lot recently for you, um, might be rooted in a bit of laziness or pessimism, or you might feel pretty unfocused with where you're at right now. So yeah, let's see. So for the second card that we have here, It's your guide on the issue, and it's the moon. Now, this is a card that I don't get very pulled out very much whenever I'm working through this. I mean, I haven't seen it in any of the other readings that I've done so far, and I mean, it's just a beautiful card. I love the colors here. I love this deck so much. It's just so beautiful. The gold inlays are just yeah, gorgeous. But what I'm noticing for like the first time ever is all these. There's like a bunch of little. I don't know if we can even see it there, but there's a bunch of little fishes that she's like that's underneath this woman here. Um, and I don't know, something about those fishes, you know? Maybe it's kind of more of what's underneath for yourself. But let's take a look at what we got for the moon. So, what it says here is intuition, illusion, fear, and subconscious. So, it sounds like something to really guide you through whatever it is you're going through right now is going to be your intuition. Um, and I think looking at what's maybe illusion versus what's intuition versus what's fear versus like I don't know, taking a deeper look into your subconscious there in general is probably going to be really useful for you to work through whatever this issue is that you're going through. Of course, this is a general reading, so I'm not going to be able to get into specifics of whatever this issue is. However, I believe that you hold all the keys within yourself to look at that thing, you know. And if I mean, of course, there's always going to be value in getting guidance from the outside here, but ultimately, at the end of the day, you're the one who knows what you're going through. So your own internal guidance system, your own intuition is going to be the best thing to help you work through this, right? So yeah, let's see what we got for what you need to learn from this issue, which is going to be the Knight of Swords in reverse here. Okay. And then let's see what this says in yeah. And I mean, immediately when I look at the Knight of Swords, I'm really drawn to like this position that they're in with like, haha. And the swords is all about like mental energy, like your thoughts. Um, but if it's in reverse, it's going to be what is this? What you need to learn from the issue. I mean, maybe you're kind of like me and you overthink a lot and there's a lot of thoughts that really run through your brain, and like I think learning how to take a step back from that can be really powerful, and that alone will allow your intuition to come up more. And because you know the intuition is quiet, it's not loud, it doesn't scream like the fear or the insecurities or whatever else may be running through your brain. I mean, even just like the general day-to-day whatever thoughts that may be going on in your brain, it's not it's going to be a lot louder than the intuition. So if you can learn how to quiet that down, then maybe you um, can that can maybe help you work through this energy a lot more. Let's see what it says in here. See if there's anything else for you. So in the reverse for the Knight of Swords, it says weak, unreliable, impatient, and disorganized. So I mean, that is a whole lot of new stuff here. So you might be I don't know. It feels like what you need to learn is where you feel like you are weak, where you are telling yourself that you are weak, where you're telling yourself that you're unreliable, where you are telling yourself that you're impatient, where you're telling yourself that you are disorganized. I feel like taking a real genuine look at this stuff, you might learn that maybe you're not quite so weak. Maybe you're not quite so unreliable. Maybe you're not quite so impatient. Maybe you're not quite so disorganized. Maybe there's a higher level of organization that's going on here. Like I think for a lot of us, it's very easy to get caught up in what society thinks and what is expected of us in that way. And I think we can all agree that society doesn't know shit. You know, doesn't know what the fuck it's talking about. And I think ultimately, if it works for you, it works for you, you know. Especially if you are following your intuition and you're going off of listening to yourself and your body and your own internal guidance. Like, who the hell is anybody else to tell you whether or not you're doing it right or wrong? Ultimately, it's about the power that you're giving something else to tell you that thing. Because what's going on there is you're giving something outside of yourself, or whatever that voice is that's telling you that you're weak, unreliable, impatient, or disorganized, the power to tell you that and for you to believe that. And if you can take a step back and just say, hey, you know what? You're wrong. I don't believe that. I don't believe that I'm weak. I don't believe that I'm unreliable. I don't believe that I'm impatient or disorganized. I believe that I maybe just work a little bit differently than how a lot of people tend to work or how people like to tell themselves that they work. I don't know that everybody actually, you know, I don't think that anybody truly works in the way that society tells us that we should work. I think that maybe there's a couple people that it works out for, but I feel like for the most part, people actually would thrive a little bit more if we all took a bit of a step back from how the expectations of society tend to put us. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I think what's really important here is to just learn where we are telling ourselves these things, where we're telling ourselves that we're weak, unreliable, impatient, or disorganized, and trying to catch ourselves in those moments and rewire our brains to rewire our subconscious to tell ourselves a bit better of a story. I mean, because I'll tell you right now, I don't even know who you are, but I know that you're not weak. And I know that you're strong. I know that you're reliable. I know that you're patient. I know that you're organized. It may be in your own way, and it may not be in the way that like some other people may not do, but I know that you are, and I know that it works for you, and I know that you ultimately know what's best for you as well. So yeah. All right. Let's look at what obstacles or challenges that you need to be aware of. And immediately, I mean, we have the devil card here, right? So that's immediately that devil energy. That's immediately that that those that energy that wants us to stay small, wants us to stay stuck in those positions. Because, I mean, ultimately, there's probably a lot of energy out there that doesn't want to see us shine our lights. There's some insecurities. There's a lot of insecurities out there in the realm. There's a lot of. I don't want to start making you feel like you need to attack certain people or whatever, because that may not be exactly what's going on for them. But there may be some energies in your life that make you feel like you're less than, when whether or not they're actually actively doing that intentionally, ultimately, I mean, you're not. You're not less than. And you really are. You're an incredible human being. I mean, you're here, you're living your life, and you've made it through every single challenge that's presented itself to you up until this point. So, um, I mean, that alone is incredible. That's an incredible feat to even make it this far, and especially if you're a little bit older of a person. Like, I'm only 25 years old, and I feel like I've made it through some pretty crazy fucking shit. And I can only imagine what sort of life somebody who's lived for 40, 50, 60, 70 years might have gone through. And I mean, like, I just think it's pretty incredible that it's pretty incredible what someone can go through in just 1 year of life, and to make it through all of those obstacles and challenges is just an incredible and beautiful thing. And I think that alone is proof enough to know that you are strong, you are capable, you are um, persistent, or you are organized. You know what's best for you, and ultimately you know what you're doing. I mean, why would you listen to all these outside voices that um, don't know what's best for you when you'd be the one to know what's best for you? You know. Um, let's read what it says here for the devil. It says addiction, obsession, control, materialism. Um, these might be some things that also will stand in your way to working through this energy. Um, if there's something that you feel addicted to, or something that you feel like you're obsessed with, or that you just need to exert control over, or maybe, I mean, maybe it's a material thing. Like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of value in learning to take a step back, learning to take a look at ourselves, and um, see where we're maybe where we're living in this devil energy a little bit too. And I think that might be a little bit of a trap that you might find yourself in, especially as you're working through this energy. You know, it can be very easy to step into that stuff ourselves as well. And taking a look at that and being very honest with ourselves about that is very important and super powerful and really profound work. So yeah. Okay, and then ultimately at the end here, we got the Knight of Wands. And this is for the potential future if lessons are learned and obstacles are overcome. Now, I don't really remember what the Knight of Wands talks about, but I mean, it's the Knight and it's Wands energy. It's all about our emotions and stuff, you know. So let's see what it says. It says determination, energetic, impulsiveness, and passionate. And this is I think where everything ties into that pile one. So if you're from pile one, or if you want to go and take a look at pile one there, I think there's a lot of really cool messages from both piles here for somebody. Um, and I'm thinking that, I mean, once you work through this energy, you're going to find yourself in this space where you kind of get that spark back, where you get to feel that passion for life again, where you get to feel determined, like you know where you're going, and you are able to get yourself there, and you feel like you're able to get yourself there, because ultimately, of course, the truth is you are able to get yourself there. But if you don't feel like you are, then you're going to run into all sorts of issues. But if you really feel like you are, then that's going to be really helpful for you, and especially in getting there, because you're capable of doing that, you know. um and I think you're going to find, as you work through this and as you get through this type of energy and like really take a look and really do this work, you're going to find that you're going to get a lot more energy to do the things that you want to do in life. And maybe you get to be a little bit more impulsive and live life in a more fun way than just always ruminating and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking yourself into a hole that's like just ultimately draining your energy. Really beautiful stuff. Really cool. So yeah, I think the future is very bright for you. I think that it's also very important to maybe don't not be so hard on yourself here, because that's gonna just push you further and further into that loop of um, thinking all these things. You know, it's really tough to work through. I've myself very much struggle with this type of energy, and um, it's not easy. It's not easy being us, you know. But ultimately, at the end of the day, yeah, I hope that this reading kind of shows you that you're not alone, and if you're maybe struggling with that and feeling like you are alone, then maybe you can leave a little comment down below. And I'm not exactly in a place where there's a ton of people watching these videos or anything, so it's not like I can guarantee that somebody down there will say something that might make you feel better. But if you leave a comment down there and share your story, I promise you that I'll read it, and that I'll um, probably be able to resonate with you on some level, and hopefully I'm hoping that this reading is enough to show you that you're not alone, because I've definitely had a hard time working through a lot of this stuff. Okay, that's been It's been my life for the last, I mean, 25 years is what it feels like. But more intensely, I've been really working through this energy for the last like 3, 4 years or so. And I'm just now I mean, I'm not even feeling like I'm out of it right now. I feel like I still got my own shit that I'm trying to work through with it. But I know that I got this, and I know that you got this too. So, yeah. And if you really, really need help with this, I do recommend that you go and check out some therapy or look into some community things. It might even help just to get out of your normal routine and get out of your head a little bit, and go and take a walk, enjoy nature, realize that life ain't so serious, and we get to live in this beautiful, beautiful world. And I know there's a lot of really rough things going on in the world right now, but I think being able to take a moment, take a step back, and still realize that, like, yes, there's some shit happening, but also there's a lot of really beautiful stuff happening as well in the world. So, I think it's all about perspective and what you focus yourself on. So cool. If you enjoyed this, if you found something out of this, you can leave a like down below. That's the easiest and best way to show that you show your appreciation. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, night, whatever, whatever time it is for you. Um, Again, these are timeless, of course. And yeah, thank you so much. If you want to join me on this tarot journey that I'm going on right now, then you can go ahead and leave a subscribe. And again, if you want to share your story at all, please leave it down below. I'm sure it would help somebody feel a little less alone, which is always great. So yeah, thank you so much, and I love you. Bye.